Hey everybody, the Long Shot Signatures here. Very rare Sunday video that I've got for you guys. I have some really awesome purchases here that arrived today. I guess I got expedited shipping or something like that to get a package on Sunday, but I do know they do that uh, in some cases. So this was a surprise, came about 5 days earlier than expected. But I added 7 new autographs to my NHL collection and was able to get these, most of them on clearance. One of them I did pay quite a bit for, but with the coupon for the site wide sale and everything like that, it very much became worth it for who it was. And I could not pass up the offer to get it at that price because it's only going to go up if this guy continues playing. But we're going to start off with a Chicago Blackhawk who has since been traded to the Montreal Canadiens. Purchased a Kirby Dach autograph. He was the third overall pick in the 2019 NHL draft. He was looking to be the next big name for the Chicago Blackhawks. Learned under Jonathan Toews for a few years and then eventually take over that number one center role. Had a good rookie season. His second year was derailed by injury, so it was hard to really get a grasp on just how good he could be. And then this past season, he wasn't that great. Didn't put up very many points, but Chicago was also one of the worst teams in the league. And in an effort to rebuild, they traded him to the Montreal Canadiens for a mid first round pick and I think a fourth rounder as well. And it was a very weird trade for Montreal because they acquired that first round pick, which was a really good one for one of their younger players. And it was at that point, it was like, hey, this is a really good trade. And then they used that to acquire Kirby Dach, and it's like, oh, that's a mixed bag. But I mean, it's kind of the same deal if you're drafting someone. So we'll see how it works out for all the teams that were involved in that. Very, very strange draft that was. But again, this was on clearance because he was no longer with the team. So they're trying to clear out all the stuff with these players in their older uniforms. Same case for this guy. This is a former Toronto Maple Leaf defenseman, Travis Dermott. He was traded to the Vancouver Canucks. He just really wasn't playing that well. They knew that he wasn't going to be like a point scoring defenseman, but he also wasn't doing that great in his own end. So they found a trade partner with Vancouver. He got traded there, which broke up the defensive pairing between he and Justin Hall, which became the Dermatologist line, which is one of the greatest nickname pun lines names that I've ever heard. But he's a pretty decent player. I think he was a second round pick of the Leafs a while back. So we'll see how he does in Vancouver going forward. We're going to continue with the Maple Leafs theme with a player who is still with the team. This one was just a little bit cheaper. Got it on the sale that was going on with the website. But Michael Bunting, he probably would have been very serious consideration for the Rookie of the Year trophy if he wasn't already 26 years old. I guess he was still eligible for the trophy because he hadn't played enough games and he was born before a certain date, and he played on the first line of the Maple Leafs for most of the season and racked up a bunch of points, had a really, really good season, but he eventually lost out to Moritz Seider, who was a much younger player, very fantastic defenseman for the Detroit Red Wings. But had he been younger, he probably, and put up those same numbers, he probably would have given Seider a run for his money. But cool addition there for the Maple Leafs collection. It is not the last Maple Leaf autograph in this. The next one, I was really surprised they even put this on sale. I'm surprised he was even let go from the team. But this is a two-time 40-goal scorer who was traded away as part of a massive rebuild project, and from a team that we've already talked about before. This is Alex DeBrincat of the Chicago Blackhawks, who is now an Ottawa Senator. So DeBrincat was a second-round pick, I think 2016, and he has been an excellent player all the way through. He's one of Patrick Kane's best friends and line mates. Like I said, he already has 240-goal seasons, including last year where the Chicago Blackhawks were just objectively not good. So it was really surprising to see, even though they were doing the rebuild, that given I think he's only 24 or 25, that he wouldn't be part of it. So they traded him to the Senators, which led to me getting an awesome deal on this photo on clearance. Could not pass that up, but that's still not even the best autograph in this. In fact, it only gets better from here. This next one is from a former NHL captain, and then was a member of the Vegas Golden Knights and has since been traded from there. Unfortunately, it's looking like he won't play this season, but did add Max Pacioretty to the collection. He is a former captain for the Montreal Canadiens, and they almost traded him once, but he said no. And then they did trade him to the Golden Knights. He is in the top 10 for their scoring. They haven't been around, that long, but he immediately had an impact, was a really good player for them. I don't remember exactly what the injury is. I think it's a lower body, either a knee or a hip. But he was traded this offseason to the Carolina Hurricanes and has announced that it's unlikely that he will play this season. Not sure if it's going to be a career ender. That would be awful for a guy who's been a fantastic player. Really, really fun to watch. Hopefully he gets another chance to play. His health bounces back and everything. But again, he was let go from the team, so they're trying to clear out all the stuff with his old team, and I got a fantastic deal on that. Just like this one. Again, really surprised by how much they were marking these down and putting them together, getting free shipping and all that. But this guy made a move of his own. He wasn't traded. The team that he was with really, really wanted to keep him, but he made one of the biggest free agency shocks the NHL has ever seen. Johnny Gaudreau. Now, I do have a TTM that I sent out to him and got back. There's some speculation that those are ghost signed. It looks very similar to a signature that he gave out when he was younger, and it just doesn't have all the squiggles for his name. It's just the simple JG and then his number. But I don't know whether to trust that or not, and he's been kind of iffy through the teams. So I'm still going to try and get him through the mail, but I figured, getting an autographed 8x10 that's, officially licensed and everything, that'll hold over until I'm able to get a signed card, if I even do get one. But a fantastic player, had 115 points this past season. One of the best years that he has had as a Calgary Flame, along with Matthew Tkachuk, who is no longer with the team. I think Elias Lindholm was part of that as well. I don't have his autograph, but I do see that he has signed before, so I'm going to try and get him. But he decided to leave after becoming an unrestricted free agent from Calgary, and then a lot of people thought he was going to sign close to home, so either New Jersey, maybe Philadelphia, somewhere along there. He ended up choosing to go to Columbus, and he said to the reporters that were asking, why not? Why not Columbus? Who have been trying to rebuild themselves. So adding him is a huge acquisition. They've already got a couple of really good players there. Still got a little bit more work to do, but I think he'll really help bring in some other free agents. And it's awesome to see a guy choose kind of to go for the team rather than just whoever the highest bidder is or wherever the biggest market is. Helping out a team like that who never gets big-time free agents. This last one here is an awesome, awesome piece. I've been wanting to get this guy's autograph forever. He has not signed through the mail that I've seen. I rarely ever see anyone get him in person because the team that he's with makes fan interaction extremely difficult. It makes sense, but it's extremely difficult, I guess, to meet the players there. And considering what he accomplished just this past year and breaking a whole bunch of records and stuff like that, I'm I'm surprised I was able to get this at the price that I did. Now this wasn't on clearance because he's still with the team, but they had that site-wide sale going on. So that, plus it was already not a bad price to begin with. I had to do it, but I was able to add Austin Matthews to the collection. So for those of you who don't follow hockey, Austin Matthews is basically like the next big thing. He's already the big thing. He was drafted first overall in 2016, immediately came out of the gates. Very first game, scored 4 goals, finished the season with 40, broke the Maple Leafs team records, American records, everything like that. Won the Rookie of the Year. He's been on pace for some other awesome seasons. Unfortunately, he dealt with some injuries early on, and then when he was healthy, he was on a fantastic scoring pace. Then COVID hit, then there was the COVID shortened season, but this past year, he scored 60 goals and over 100 points. He won the Hart Memorial Trophy for League MVP, won the Lester B. Pearson / Ted Lindsay, I don't know which one they call it anymore, but that's the Players Voted MVP award. I think he won another one. I don't remember what it is. But 2-time league all-star, kind of like at the all-pro level. This guy is just amazing. He is the active leader in goals per game for those who qualify. He's just an amazing goal scorer, fantastic player all around, and he's getting a little bit better each year in his all-around game, but his shot is fantastic. He is so much fun to watch, and I'll say it. I think it was $150 for it. So considering, I very rarely ever go on sites like this to purchase autographs because I always feel like they overcharge for names that really aren't that big. And I was going to try and find other sports to get autographs of, but they were doing the same thing there. Like 1-year pitchers were like $40 to $50 each. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. But for already, if he were to retire today, he'd probably be in the Hockey Hall of Fame. But he's just got a fantastic career ahead of him. Hopefully, things work out well as far as his health and whatnot. He's already had some issues with his shoulder and everything, but again, 60 goals this past year. Looks like he's gotten past that. But to get that for $150, along with some other really cool stuff, is just unbelievable. So really happy to add this to the collection. Let me know what you guys think. Hockey season should be starting up here in about 2.5-3 weeks, and we'll get to see all but one, of course. Max Pacioretty's not going to be playing this season, but we'll see how they all do. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Helps me out a lot. Best luck with your guys' collecting. Take care.